Right, Harvey, we are live.
Nice.
Welcome along, everybody, to another edition of Cone Racing League Academy. We are here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined once again by Harvey. Good evening, Harvey.
Good evening, Sam. Welcome along. Cone Racing Academy. Should be another good one. It was last week, so let's hope we get the same action.
Yes, if you're unfamiliar with the Cone Racing Academy League, what we are is, as a collective, we are the Cone Racing League. We have two divisions, the Champion Division that runs on a Tuesday and the Academy that runs on a Thursday. The Academy is all about those drivers that are new to league racing or looking to develop their skills in league racing, and also those that might be trying new assists or things like that. So we've got 19 drivers in here at the moment. Unfortunately, MWS unable to join us this week. We have a few new drivers. Toon Fan, as you can see on screen in the Alfa Romeo, he is in for his debut this week. He takes the Red Bull seat. We've also got a Frederick, who you see down there as Racing Slade. It's his first race, and Ninja is in as a reserve this week. He's taken over from Selim. Selim unfortunately can't make it tonight. He is third in the championship, so might be a chance for M66 and Christian to pull away. If you've been watching, they are our two championship leaders, Christian and M66, exchanging pole positions and race wins. I think it was Christian that finished second behind M66 last week, if I am correct.
Yeah.
So a little bit more insight then into this racing league. We run a 25% race, which is preceded by this 18-minute short qualifying session. The drivers, as of this week, voted for custom setups. It was presets, but it's now custom, as Murphy's given a 5-place grid penalty there. So he's had a collision with Pheasant Plucker. I think that's coming round turn 6, which is that little hairpin in the second sector. I think they've collided. They're quite close on the mini-map, so I'm not sure if you saw what went on there, Harvey.
No, I mean, that's really unfortunate as well, because with grid penalties, you can't really contest them and take them off. There's not really anything you can do about it. So unfortunately, he's going to have to put up with that. Yeah, there's not much you can do.
So that's unfortunate for him. So already he will be starting 5 places back from where he started. If you're looking down the grid as well, just say a shout out to Carl Cohen for lecture. He kindly does our streaming on a Tuesday, so on the Thursdays he chose to race with us. So he is one of those that is running no assists. So for him, this is a chance to practice racing without assists going forward.
Yeah.
Very, very brave from him, I think.
Yeah, we know he's got a lot of pace as well. Should be quick, should be up there with the top runners.
Yeah, I said he was in that practice session we had earlier, and he was at the top of those timesheets. As Toon Fan then on those medium tyres goes fastest, a 106.4 from the Alfa Romeo driver on debut. But you can see there the soft tyre compound already showing it's about 7/10 faster. That's taking it into first position for them. I'll speak of the devil, Cal Cohen, 105.5. So he goes even faster at the top of those timesheets then. So what do you make of the early runners then? 6 times Krishna, one of the reserves from the...
And Haas look really strong. Chris being my teammate in the main league, I know he's quick as well, so they should be getting some good points today. Haas, look at those, both 1, 2. Also Digweed, 5 thousandths of a second quicker than M66. I think they were both on the softs, yeah.
Yeah, so the softs gain you about anywhere between sort of 7/10 and a second on a flying lap. Remember, you've got max fuel sort of flow. You've got your full ERS that you can run around this track. It's quite hard to manage ERS in the race, but here with the long straights, you can sort of flick it down and then save it in the corners and then back again for the straights effectively. It's quite hard to overtake, I find, because of such long straights, but it's one of those that you can sort of get a hold of if you do it right.
Also 3 DRS zones, so if you do get overtaken, pretty much the next straight you'll have an opportunity to get right back in the fight, so you don't need to worry too much if you're being overtaken.
Yeah, I said one of those tracks, like you say, that has got 3 DRS zones. The biggest of them all is that one coming out of that first corner in the run up to what is turn 3. The reason it's turn 3, you can see on the minimap there's a slight little kinked from the right to the left. That is considered a corner here. You're going about 200-300 miles an hour at that corner, so you don't really notice it until you hit the braking zone. But as we're on board with Pheasant Plucker, here he comes into turn 3. That's a very, very sharp braking. So you've got to watch that a little bit when you're in the race. You can get the move done with that DRS and with the thing, but you've got to make sure you reach that braking point.
Yeah, you've got to be really easy on that throttle. Too much and you'll send it into the barrier. I think you've just got to really be careful with especially in the race. You know, people focusing, even with cars around them, might not be able to concentrate enough. So they really need to watch out for that corner. It's really dangerous.
Yeah. So as we on board with Pheasant Plucker as he comes through sector 2 into what is the double right-hander of Austria. I like this double right-hander. When you race it at full speed, you can almost shift down a couple of gears, and that keeps your momentum through those corners. You don't want to run a little bit too wide on the left-hand side, or you will invalidate. You have to remember it's strict corner cutting rules. So if you do take the mickey with the track limits, you will be punished, and you will have to set another time. But here, it's not too bad. You can sort of, I mean, my personal favourite is I like to go sort of 8th gear, 7th gear roughly on the entry to that penultimate turn, shift down to 6th, and then use the momentum from 6th gear, shift down to 4th, and get a great exit running a little bit wide on the curb. I mean, I don't know how you approach it, but it's one of those corners that you can keep speed through.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably my favourite part of the track as well, because it's the part where you can just absolutely throw the car into. You know, the final set to you. No matter what you've done in the first set, you can make up time, you can lose time. It's just a fun area of the track. You know, you got that double right-hander, as you said. You can just absolutely put the car wherever you want. There's different lines, and it's just fun. And also, you got that run onto the main straight, which is also a really good opportunity for overtakes as well as the other back straight.
A shout out, hello to YW Gamer. Thanks for joining us this evening for what is round 4 of this 6-round championship. As we can see on the Matt's car, he's got a little bit of front wing damage, missing one of the end plates. I don't know whether he's clipped a wall or barrier, but he's going quite slowly as they come round like there. Now this whole short qualifying form is a little bit different. Some drivers aren't used to it. 18 minutes of just trying to get as high up the grid as you can, really. A lot of drivers I'm noticing on the left, Harvey, here going for that soft compound straight up. That is the fastest compound around here. But you can see there Matt and Toon on the mediums trying to do a prolonged first stint, being faster towards the end of the race. Yeah,
I mean, it is a short circuit, so I don't really know what the fastest strategy around here is. Well, it's only a 25% race, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe possible safety cars. You don't see a lot around here in Spielberg, but I'd probably say medium soft isn't a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, being 25% race, it's mandatory to switch your tyres once unless it's going to be a wet race, of course. But we'll take this going to be dry for now. You have to start on whatever compound you qualify with here in short qualifying, but it's a compulsory tyre change. You must run at least 2 dry compounds. You see a little bit, McConey goes a little bit wide on the exit there, and he's invalidated his time. That's unfortunate for him. Currently in 13th. Toon, thank you for telling me. So it's going to be a dry race indeed. So I'd be looking, if I was driving, I'd be looking for that one stop like you mentioned. Preferably I'd want to start on the mediums, but remember you have to take into account that it is short qualifying. So as Krishna goes fastest then, a 105.3, those Hasses at the top of those timesheets. I
think if you're fast on the mediums and you only lose about 2 positions from qualifying by going on the mediums, I think that is the best call. You know, like maybe not if it puts you down like more than 5 places or like a lot of places. It's probably best to qualify on softs if you're just not quick enough on those mediums. Yeah,
so we can see there's already what you're mentioning there. I mean, Toon's in 9th on those medium compounds. Not like you mentioned, not a bad place to be, because it means once the front runners start pitting, you've got a little bit of clean air in front of you. But I think it was McConey, the only other driver on those mediums. He's switched to softs. Apologies if it wasn't McConey, but you can already see those soft tyres coming out for this session. It seems to be the one of choice. As Christian Galang's about to start his lap, so we'll just take you on a hot lap here with Christian. So we're coming up towards this first corner, braking right into 4th gear. Nice clean exit there. You open your DRS for the first time, and you can see this long run up the hill towards turn 3. That little kink on the right hand side was turn 2. As I mentioned that earlier. You got back nice and sharp here. You want to open up a little bit on the left hand side for the exit. You open DRS for the second time in the lap, and this is another good overtaking zone down into the hairpin, reaching about 200 miles an hour, braking at 100 meters, shifting down into 3rd, then opening up the car on the left hand side for the exit. Some drivers choose to stay a little bit wider, but Christian opting for a nice tight line around that little turn into the 5th gear corner, round the left, round the famous bronze ball statue, coming through, completing sector 2. He's a few hundredths down on his previous best. He's coming round now towards this final sequence of corners that I was mentioning earlier. Christian reaching 194 as he shifted down into 6. Runs a little bit tight on the exit, takes a lot of the curb, but you're allowed to do that here. Back on the power then through the final corner. Christian currently in 4, goes into P2 then, a 105.4. Took a 2 or 3 tenths through that final sector there. As I said, that's where you can make the most time if you ride those corners, and Christian proving so there.
Yeah, really good lap. He could be also hiding some pace. He might go out one more time. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's not a bad lap actually.
Yeah, well, Cal Cohen's just about to start another flying lap. He's just been split, as I said, by Christian from his teammate Krishna, who sits atop of the standings. Remember, there are a few drivers in here that are reserving from our main league. Krishna is one of those. Christian, another driver who runs in our league, but uses this time to practice league racing, considering he's new to it. So there is a little bit of a pace difference you'll expect, but it's more that they're almost at a level playing field to the rest of the drivers. Would you sort of agree?
I would, yeah, definitely. I don't know, M66 and Christian are really equally matched, and only it's about half a tenth from Chris and Christian Galang, so I'm really not sure who could get a pole there. I think the top 6, possibly Chris VK Panda. He looks in contention. Also Digweed looks quite quick. So
M66 has just gone purple in the first sector. So Cal Cohen goes top then, 105.2. He's pulled a 800ths away from his teammate Krishna. So it's very tight at the top with just 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. M66 just gone purple in sector 1 as he comes through sector 2 now. I'm on board with him as he comes round that famous ball statue. He's 4 tenths up on his previous best time, so at the moment that puts him on about a 105.3. So we'll see how he comes through these final 2 corners then. Remember, he went purple sector 1 and purple sector 2. Track evolution coming into play a little bit as well. What will the championship leader do? Oh no, he's invalidated on the final corner. So he ran a little bit wide. I said you can
5 tenths up.
Yeah, you can play with those track limits, but you go too far and you will struggle. And unfortunately for M66, he just a little bit too wide on the exit. That cost him what would have been, I think, a pole time if you said, was it 5 tenths?
Yeah,
he was up. So
5.3. Yeah, so it's good, at least a good 5 tenths. Yeah.
It would have put him on top. So the Liverpool fan was coming out of the pits then. He's currently in P10 looking for another fresh set. We haven't mentioned track evolution yet. Obviously quite high altitude here in Austria means that it's a little bit harder on tyres than some other circuits. So these soft laps, I think it's an 18 lap race. I think these softs might go about 6 or 7, mediums 10 or 11. Looks like that's going to be the strategy at the moment. Interesting to see whether Toon sticks with his time of 106.4 on those mediums, or if he comes out again on the softs.
It's not as hot and sunny as it usually is around here. I mean, sometimes you just can't see a braking zone, especially into turn 1. I was expecting it to sunny and maybe see a bit of chaos going into turn 1, but I think they'll just be able to, unless it's a sunny race, but you know, it could be quite cold as well. Some of the drivers might be slipping around just a little bit, but they seem to be doing alright just for now. Yes,
we've got good evening, Tristan. Hello, welcome along. Thank you for joining us. And obviously on board with Liverpool fan, he's a thousandth up on his time, almost, sorry, 1600ths I meant. He's currently in P10 as I mentioned, so he'll be looking to put that Mercedes up there. He's driven a few of our races in the mainly reserving. That is part of what we do here. The academy drivers do reserve in the main league if we are missing drivers. Liverpool fan joined us in Canada and other races, proved really well there. He'll be looking for a strong result here as well. So he goes purple in sector 2 then, the Mercedes driver. coming down the long straight now. So as I'm saying, it's only 10 turns here at Austria. And where can Liverpool fan put his car? Then he goes up to P7 as Toon retires. So Toon is sticking with that medium strategy.
Yep.
It looks like he's going to be the only one. Still yet to see GJB and Crash set a lap. So Crash is on a lap now. He's currently in P19 and GJB in P18 is still in the pit. So 10 laps here at Austria. Lap distance of 4.3 kilometers. The lap record of 106.9 from Kimi Räikkönen in 2018. So already quite a few of these drivers beating that time as we look ahead to the race.
Yeah, Toon, I mean, it's probably a good call, but it's just see if you can make up a couple of positions, because it is a short race. Will the strategy have enough time to benefit his race?
Yeah, I'm hearing from the man himself that Toon is indeed going to try and risk it on that medium, so we might have one alternate strategy running, so watch out for the Alfa Romeo. 2 minutes left in this session. Calcoen for Lecce on debut is on pole position for Haas's teammate alongside him. Will it be a Haas front row? Last week we introduced Constructors' Point for the first time on a full grid, so that will be interesting. We've seen we had two drivers who yet to set a time. Crash Gaming went 14th then with a 107.0. Who's going to top the timesheets in a minute time? Half. Where does your money lie at this moment in time?
Like I said before, I'm struggling to pick, because it could be Calcoen, any of the top six look strong, but I think I'm going to ride on board with Christian Galang on his outlap coming through the last couple of corners. Let's see what he can do from here.
So I'm on board with M66. So he's just gone purple in sector 1. He's currently P6, your championship leader. He's coming down now towards the hairpin. Take a nice tight line using a bit of that curb. Opens up on the right hand side, shifting left then.
Oh, Christian.
What's Christian done?
Oh, he messed up his outlap on the last corner. I think he's gonna wait. He's gonna have to go again, I think. But yeah, he's lost a lot of time there. He's gonna have to get back to the
M66. Yeah, he's just about to come down then through the final corner. Make sure you keep that car inside the track limits. M66, he has done that. Opens DRS then. He looking to go higher. He goes pole position at 105.2. What a lap from M66. He a little bit reserved on the final corners, but he's put that M66 car back on pole position for McLaren.
Calcoen's lost time in the first sector.
Yeah, who else have we got? Christian, like you said, invalidated his
he's
lap
bottled
time.
it. Calcoen's lost it. Like we said before on that turn 3, he's put too much on the throttle in the corner. He's absolutely binned it into the barrier. Oh.
How unfortunate for him then. So with just 3 seconds left, M66 sits on pole position. Can Krishna do anything about it? I don't think he can, unless he can get around. Now we've seen a few drivers there. Vikings given a 5 place penalty then for an instant with Pheasant Plucker. That's
again
going to push him
Plucker.
down. Yeah, Chris Vick landed then a 104.8 from Chris in the Renault. What a lap from him. We're seeing drivers spinning all over the place. There's a McLaren gone off in the background there. I think that's McConey.
Christian Glang's pit.
McConey's spun on his final lap. He's currently in P12, won't be able to improve. What a lap from Chris Harvey.
Yeah, I know. I literally said he was in the running top 6. I think he was 5th. Was he just behind Digweed? I did expect him. It looked like he had quite a lot of pace actually. So yeah, you can't knock him off for that.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris goes second. Splits M66 and Chris VK Panda.
Yeah, 104.9
in the Fords, yeah.
For the Haas driver. Vegas, shout out to him. He finished in the top 10 last time out in Canada. He's back in 9th. Viking in the Red Bull 10th. Assault King in 16th. Frederick in the Alfa Romeo on debut 15th. His name racing said McConey's given a 5 place grid penalty as well. He's got quite a few grid penalties going. Ninja on debut 14th in that Mercedes. Remember, it's quite hard there. I said, one of our drivers tuning in, Dan, he's just said Academy drivers setting some crazy laps, and I'd have to agree. At 108.4, I think they will be racing here in the main league on Tuesday evening. So that's a very, very high bar set by the Academy.
Yeah. What a lap. Was not expecting that. I mean, well, even though I thought any of them could have got pole, I was really putting my money on Galang, M66, Chris and Calcone. But yeah, I think Christian Galang didn't want to set another lap, because if he did, he would have been on some tough rubber for the start of the race, and that would have not helped his race. Definitely not.
I'm not quite sure what was going on there with GJB. He didn't set a lap time. Whether he was, unfortunately fell foul to those track limits, as we just see there, Harvey, the top 10. So Chris, what a lap on pole. Krishna just a few tenths back. Both in the 104s. They'll sit out the front row. Then M66, your championship leader, is third. Calcoen on debut, fourth. Christian, 5. Digweed, Liverpool fan, 6 and 7. Pheasant Plucker and Vegas just behind them. Royal Viking rounds out the top 10, but he's got a 5-place grid penalty. You can see another 5-place grid penalty for McConey. Murphy at the back of the grid has a 5-place as well, so he'll start at the back of the grid. The only driver there to watch out for, another one, sorry, is DSG Toon Fan on those medium compound tyres. I'd expect him to last about 3 or 4 laps longer than the rest of the grid.
Yeah, he's also moved up a place, hasn't he, on the penalty.
Yeah, so I said a few penalties there. That's one thing that Austria is, because it's such a short track and just a lot of straights and tight corners. You've got to just be careful when you're on your sort of cool down lap or your out lap, that you don't get in the way of other drivers, because it can mean the difference between first and fourth with the sort of tenths and hundredths it can cost you.
Yeah, some drivers definitely won't be happy.
Yeah. So just quickly check on the comments from the viewers. Welcome to all of you that have come along and joined us today. Jacob wishing the lads the best of luck. Go on, lads, he says. DC wishing, as I said, we've already mentioned him, he's in the main league. He's wishing the academy boys luck. So nice to see the championship division tuning in. Tristan joining us from RRC. Look out for the invitational, that'll be live on YouTube in a couple of weeks. There'll be more information on that coming up soon, as we're about to start this formation map. Then Chris, with a blistering lap time, sits on pole position in the Renault. Krishna on debut is 2. He's split from his teammate by your championship leader M66 in P3. Calcoen is P4. Christian Galang been in the top 2. No, I think a little bit of a connection issue with Vegas there. Christian P2 in the championship. He starts from 5th place. The Racing Points have had a good qualifying recently. They finished 3rd and 4th in qualifying the last 2 races. They're 6th and 8th today. Digweed ahead of Pheasant Plug. A Liverpool fan splits them then in 7th. As Vegas, you can see they're stuck on the line. Toon on debut, the only driver running that medium compound tyre. He starts in P10 for Alfa Romeo. Crash is 11th. Ninja and Slade on their debuts, they're 12th and 13th. The 2 Red Bulls, 14 and 15. McConey with a 5-place grid penalty drops from 12th to 16th. Matt starts 17th. GJB didn't set a lap, he'll be 18th, and Murphy will round out the back of the grid.
Yeah, I mean, it is a sunny race as well, so we'll have to look out for drivers. Might not be able to see the breaker point into turn 1. Let's see who can spot out, and let's see who can't. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difficult one. Murphy, sorry, opting for the mediums then on his Williams car from the back of the grid. So 2 drivers actually running the alternate stretch. Remember, those outside the top 10 do get free choice of tyres. The rest of the grid have to start on their fastest qualifying lap, as we're about to come through to start this formation up. A bit of a glitch in Codemasters there. Those drivers stuck on the grid had contact. They weren't able to get those tyres warm, weren't able to get those brakes warm. As you said, that braking zone up towards turn 1, it's uphill. You get the sunlight reflecting off the visor, off the track. Are they going to make it all through? As we line up on the grid now, we wait for Murphy to get into his grid slot as the 5 red lights are about to come up here in Austria, the Red Bull Ring, for 10 turns of 18 laps. Here we go then, 5 red lights, and we are racing here in the Cone Racing Academy. It's a good start from Chris, but Krishna looking up the inside, he's just a little bit too far back. See back there, Calcone for a little bit of slow off the start. Who's that? That's the Mercedes of Liverpool fan going round the outside. Ferrari runs wide. As we see there, they're almost 2 or 3 wide as we come up in the run to turn 3. The championship leader M66 side by side with Krishna as they come up to the sharp braking zone of turn 2. Or what is turn 3? Oh, there's a racing point going wide in the background there. He'll have to back up, but it looks like they all got through clean, Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, what a start. M66, that's what you need to do. Make a nice move down the outside of turn 3. Brilliant start from him. But Chris will be wants to get that position back. Cal Cohen falls back a place and swaps for Christian. So that's good for Christian. I know he drops back. Digweed is up into 5th. That's good from him. Right on the rear end of
We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That's for Murphy. So I'm not sure what's going on with the Williams driver, but losing it coming out of the hairpin. Matt dropping down. He's in 18th, looking for another.
Contact! Oh, Royal Viking's gone. Mercedes is out. Oh, he's massive crash.
You can see there, Black Ninja is spun. He will be missing a front wing. You can see there, he will be diving into the pit lanes. Downforce crucial here and there. So Chris certainly fastest lap as you'd expect. So the opening up, the big mover then, M66 up past Krishna.
Dad from GJB. Oh my gosh, they're all. He's the biggest winner at the start of the race. He made up 4 places. He wants to make up more, Sam.
Yeah, no, I said he didn't set a lap time in quali, but he's trying to get the most of that there. Toon dropping down a few places as they're battling, I think, 4 wide up through turn 2, down in towards the hairpin. The Alfa Romeo side
2
by
racing
side.
points battling.
Yeah, I'm on board with the 2 racing points of Toon and Slade as they come down in towards hairpin. Toon goes down the inside and takes the place back from his teammate. He's back up into P12, but not so bad at this stage. Remember, he's running that alternate strategy. His teammate will be pitting earlier than him. Liverpool fan and Pheasant Plucker exchanging places there in P7 and 8 as they come through the tight, twisty section out of that sort of section round the back there. So Chris got a 5/10 gap towards M66 behind him. Krishna not far back either. What a start there. M66 sets the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, old Liverpool fan. He's in the pits. Yeah, he must have had damage.
So yeah, he's shooting a little bit of contact there for Liverpool fan. Dives into the pit lane as Pheasant Plucker's given a 3-second time penalty for exceeding those track limits. So was Toon. Multiple warnings then costing them already. Chris runs wide on the exit of turn 2.
There goes Toon.
Vegas has got M66 goes down the outside with DRS and takes the lead of this race. Then in the hairpin towards turn 3, the McLaren takes the lead of the race. What's happened to Toon, Harvey?
Yeah, Toon was looking in the inside of Royal Viking and Vegas, but I think Vegas had some internet
Viking going down the inside. There goes Toon. I'm on board with Toon. You can see there, takes the position back from Vegas. He moves there. What about Krishna? Is he closing to the top? He's about 6/10 off Panda. M66 has got a 4/10 gap then as we start lap 4 of this Grand Prix. Your championship leader started P3. He's now into the lead of this race, looking to extend his advantage. His closest challenger Christian just there on your screen is P4, about 2 seconds the gap between him and the leaders. He'll be looking to push those soft tyres as far as they can. We've had 4 laps. I'm expecting those tyres to go probably to about lap 7 or 8, and then the mediums to the end, those medium runners of Toon, and it was Murphy at the start. I think they'll go to about lap 10.
Yeah, not looking good for both Mercedes. They're quite a way off just looking at the full map, so they're going to have to really push to get try and salvage something from this race. Toon goes right on the inside of Royal Viking. What a battle that is. And there's more,
that's
more battles up ahead.
9th and 10th. Krishna's past Panda then, so Krishna making the move out of turn 3. He gets ahead of the Renault. He'll be chasing M66 down now. That gap's about a second, so he needs to push down there as they come through Verth Curve into the braking zone of Rint. Is turn 7. He's going to get close enough to gain DRS? I don't think so. This time, lap 5 of 18, we're about to head into. M66 leads then.
We've got Matt Warner staying out of trouble, Murphy making up 4 places, Marconi 2, GJB 5, and Vegas unfortunately loses 3 places. So does Cal Cohen has lost 4 places. I wonder if he's
going to say Cal Cohen
got damage.
Has he got damage?
Yeah, he's lost an M plate. Yeah, he's.
I can see that's Toon down the inside then. So Toon takes P8. Look at it goes a little bit wide there. I think he might have got a warning for that line he took. Looking down the
box some.
Yeah, I think
a lot of time.
He started P4. He's down to P9 already. So GJB's lost a few places there. I think he's gone round. Yeah, it looks like the Renault's gone round then coming out of turn 1. He's got front wing damage, lost both end plates. That'll cost him dearly. Vikings up the inside of Cal Cohen up into P9 using DRS to his advantage there. And he's down past Carcone. What would you be thinking if you're in that Haas car, Harvey?
I mean, you'd have to box, wouldn't you? He's lost 6 positions now, and he's obviously not going to get any better. I think put on a fresh set of mediums and try to extend for the whole race and get that.
Oh, there's a Williams round.
Now.
I think that's Murphy. He has lost it yet.
Boxes.
Carcone boxes. So you did say he probably have to box for that damage. As Chris given a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Murphy going round, coming out of turn 6. The gap at the front, 1.2 seconds. M66 and Krishna. There's a battle down the field between the 2 racing points. Digweed is just ahead of Pheasant Plucker. Oh no, that's a little bit, he's lost a little bit, so Digweed has pulled away, in fact, from his teammate. They were side by side. Toon Fan all over the back of Pheasant Plucker as he uses DRS coming out down towards Schloss Gold. Toon goes down the inside and takes the place, so he's up to P16, started 11th on that alternate strategy, already gained 5 places.
Yeah,
sorry,
some of the
started 5th, sorry, with the penalties.
I think it looks good for Toon.
Yeah, I'm seeing on the left hand side that Ninja. Oh, as we see a couple of, so Krishna's in and Chris is in. So the chasing pack trying to undercut your race leader then. M60. Oh, Chris is given a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's really unfortunate for him.
He started on pole. It's not looking good anymore.
Yeah,
but Toon Fan. I mean, it wasn't looking amazing at the start. Pheasant Plucker just gets a 5-second penalty, but yeah, Toon Fan. Now it's really looking on for some really good points here. Didn't look too amazing at the start, but he's managed to get past some of the drivers who struggle on those worn softs. But yeah, he's going to extend those mediums just a couple more laps, I reckon.
Yeah, as we see M66 and Christian opting to stay out. Carl Cohen's given another 3-second time penalty, so those track limits catching out quite a few drivers then. We did say that they'd last about, I thought they'd last about 7 or 8 laps, but lap 6 the early one. Oh no, that's a McLaren round. That's M66. He's gone wide of the hairpin and Christian's through into the lead. So the top 2 in the championship exchanging positions there, and Christian stayed out to try and catch up with M66, and he's pulled a 3-second gap from that one mistake coming out of turn 5 from M66. I'm assuming he'll come into the box. What does Christian do? He's a little bit wide on the exit,
Christian
but he stays out for another lap. Then Digweed 5 seconds behind the leader. He's closed up to M66, that gap. So M66 is in fact in the box. We've got yellow flags all over the place. Williams gone round at turn 3. I think there's a McLaren going slow coming out of, or is that a Renault going slow? I can't quite work out from the minimap in turn 3. So M66 struggling. He's put the medium tyres on. McConey's in. Krishna's in as well. So Krishna just pitted, and he's pitted again. So I can only assume that's front wing damage for the Haas driver. Who's that going side by side? Chris looking down the inside of Matt. Then he moves up into P9. And got yellow flags in sector 3.
There.
Who's that?
Oh, he's gone round. Oh, damage for Racing Slade. Vegas has gone round.
Calco and Fletcher really struggling. He's gone round again. Lost another lot of time.
Vegas
Murphy,
losing
5-second
loads
penalty.
of places there. I mean, that's going to be one for the stewards. It looked like Racing Slade just went a little bit too deep into the corner. Vegas did get a really nice move on him into turn 3, but Racing Slade just a little bit too late.
Oh no! Christian, what happened there? I was on board with Christian Galang as he came around the final few corners. He's about to go into the pit lane, lost the rear end, went too far, and it almost, it's not his fault. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to reset to track in this game, but the game doing him a big favour there. I would have thought he was about to go out. He went really fast into the pit lane, but he's saving grace. So here we go then. He comes out of the pit box. Toon Fan up into P2 on those medium compound tyres. Then he's got 5 seconds between him and Digweed's yellow flags over place. There's a Red Bull. I think that's the Salt King. He's in the gravel. He's in the gravel. Who's he with? That's looks like Krishna as well. Gone off. He's lost another front wing. So Krishna really struggling here in the race. I think that's 3 times he's going to have to box. The Assault King down in P17. He'll need to change his front wing.
Yeah, Matt Warner stayed out for 9 laps on the soft. So
yeah,
he's going to go the same time as he was on the softs as he's going to be on the mediums. That's interesting.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting then down the grid. It's quite a short track here, as we've mentioned already. 10 laps, 10 corners round the lap. Only about 4.3 kilometres, but quite as Digweed pits in from the lead. He stayed out a few laps longer, but he's boxing for a set mediums. That puts Toon Fan into the lead of this race. What can he pull away? Remember, net first after the pit stops will be Christian Galang. The gap between him and Toonfan is about 8 or 9 seconds. M66 behind Christian, 2 seconds. So what can Toonfan do here? Looking for a win on debut.
Now, because if he wants to make up those positions, he's going to have to do it now. I don't think he'll have enough time to make up if he only does it. It's like 6-7 laps to go.
Crash opting to stay out, then he's on 9-lap-old soft tyres in P2. Matt, the only other driver, forcing those tyre, well, I say forcing, you extending the tyre life to 9 laps. I think there'll be a Pheasant Peck is given another penalty. I think it is worth noting for those of you that did just see what happened to Christian there, it's a reduced damage here in the CRLA. Obviously we want our drivers to improve, so if you spin off and hit the walls, the chances of you going out are reduced, and if you did go out, it's sort of not worth you being involved in the race, and we don't want that. So it's reduced damage. That's why you're seeing quite a lot of wings being lost, but not a lot of wheels being lost, etc. As we see, Christian Galang's all over the back of Crash Gaming now. I think the Toro Rosso is about to pit. It's very tight pit lane here at Austria. That forced Christian a little bit wide, so he takes P2. The gap between him and Toon, then what is that? Toon's coming through turn 1. Christian has got 7 seconds, but it's whether Toon can break that 7-second gap once he pits for those soft tyres. They gain you, remember, about half a second a lap. Up those straights. Where does Crash come out then? He leaves. He's just about got into his box, so he will come out down the field. And who's that? Digweed going flags up past Assault King. So Assault King being lapped then. Yellow flags in sector 2. I think that's McConey and Matt exchanging places there. So Matt does finally box on lap 10. Fits those medium compound tyres. They'll take him to the end. Just 7 laps remain. It feels like such a blur since we started, but it's that short track distance. 18 laps at 25% distance. It's all a bit of Carl Cohen's in again. He's fitting these soft times. 5-second penalty for Krishna for ignoring a blue flag. So
it's very unfortunate. He's on
as he sets the fastest lap of, he sets the fastest lap of the race though, so he's got the speed to pull away from Toon, but you have to abide by the blue flags.
Yeah.
You can see there the blue flag's still waving as he lets Toonfan through then, so this time the Alfa Romeo gets it through. He's got a Renault just ahead of him, looking for the Renault to pull aside. Ghosting is on, remember, in the Academy League. It's not on for the Championship League, but it's on here. As we see what time we've got, 8.5 seconds, lap 12. Chris is given another 3-second time penalty. It's not going well for your pole sitter. Down in 4th, driven well, but he's just got a few penalties. 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, a few exceeding track limits. Let's push him down the order. Remember, all standings are not final until we've had the stewards inquiry. All the time penalties have been added or removed. Royal Viking moves up past Crash, then takes P8 as they come down his hairpin. He's got the inside line. He's putting his he puts his Red Bull ahead of the sister Toro Rosso, forcing the Crash driver a little bit wide on the exit, and he's got that move done, and that's for P8 and 9.
Toon pits.
Toon pits. So your race leader pits for the soft tyres. It's all about where he comes out. Christian Galang takes the lead of this race. M66 is second. A very good stop from the Alfa Romeo team.
Yeah, M66 on 1 lap older tyres than Christian Galang, but you have to say now, Sam, the title race is now on. I mean, M66 lost it, and Christian Galang right there to take his position. You know, you can sense this rivalry going on.
Oh, M66 is given a 3-second time penalty. While you're speaking about the championship battle, it's a 3-second time penalty for M66. I see Cal Cohen and co letting the leading cars through. So Toonfan comes out in 5th place, and he's got 5 laps to make the most of that soft tyres. The gap between him and Christian Galang in the lead is about 10 seconds plus. I think it's just about 12 seconds without checking the actual official timing screens. But it's such a short track. I don't know whether he's pitted a lap or two too late. And we saw drivers taking them 8 laps old, so I think he's gone there. But you were saying before about that, the championship battle, Remember, it's only 6 rounds here in the Academy. We introduced it a little bit later on than the main league. So 6 races. The first 3 races, it was M66 and Christian 1 and 2. Then that was in Australia. Race 2 in Great Britain was Christian Galang 1, M66 2. And Canada last week, the halfway stage, was M66 1 and Christian 2. So
yeah,
that title felt well and truly alive. So
yeah, back and forth, winning and coming second. It's a bit like Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton back in 2014.
I said as we're lap 14 of 18 here at Spielberg. M66 chasing down Christian for the lead of this race. M66 was in the... Oh, we've got a virtual safety car. Who's that for? That looks like it's Cal Cohen for Lecture. It is indeed. Cal Cohen has gone into the wall at turn 1. He's lost his front wing, and we see the VSC come out for the first time today. You did jinx it a little bit earlier when you said we don't really see the safety car. We've got the virtual one here today.
Yeah, I thought if it was the safety car, I would put my money on Toon Fan to win, but because it's the VSC, they have to stay around the same distance as the just before the VSC.
With Cal Cohen going then, sorry to interrupt Harvey, but with Cal Cohen back up to speed, the virtual safety car comes in. Toon Fan on the softs, we're talking about him now. He's got 10 seconds to close down between him and Christian Galang. M66 currently the driver behind Christian Galang on track, but it's all about that strategy. Pheasant Pucker struggling a little bit today. He's got another 3-second time penalty. Liverpool fan, shout out to him. He's had a bit of a quiet race, but he's fighting with the racing points as he has been. He's in P6. We had a flags once again in sector 2. Is that Cal Cohen going wide again? I think, yeah, he's struggling a little bit. Remember, he is running no assists, so he's got a little bit more race experience than others, but he's practicing with no assists and just a little bit too much of a stretch for him at the moment. But this is what we want. We want drivers trying to push themselves. The gap almost 3 seconds now, so that lap hold, that younger tyres, on the Ferrari, pushing him quite well.
A Toon Fan about 9 seconds off Christian Galang. I mean, I would have said he might have been able to do it if there's a couple more laps, but the short race just doesn't allow him to have that much time to clear the gap. He's about 8 seconds behind. Christian now has also got to clear Chris and M66 if he wants a chance, but only 3 laps left. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get this done. I
think Chris got the his first podium last week. He's in P3 at the moment. Toon Fan sets the fast lap as a racer. You'd expect then. Lower fuel loads, fresher tyres, faster tyres. There are a lot of penalties though, so I think if Toon Fan can get within a few seconds of M66 and get that gap down, I think he could take a provisional P2.
Yeah.
As we see Cal Cohen for Lecture retiring from the race then. I did mention he was running no assists. Perfect opportunity for him to try that, but just a little bit too much for him. If that is you, YW Gamer, and you've got a different name, I praise you for trying. That's what we want to see. Which is a little bit unfortunate for you today, but well done anyway.
Just to say, Black Ninja 14 laps on mediums, and Liverpool Fan 13 laps on the mediums. They're even trying to go to the end on the mediums.
Yes, so if you didn't see at the start of the race, they both pitted early on. The Mercedes struggling with wing damage. We saw Ninja going wide. They pitted a lap 2 or 3, I think. It was. Toon Fan's up past Chris then. So sorry I will get back to them, but Toon Fan down round the outside of turn 1.
Chris
takes
back.
Chris. Well, Chris will have the DRS to come up towards turn 3. Or turn 2, sorry. He's down the inside then. But you can see there, Toon's got the traction and able to pull away those fresher tyres. We're about to start the sort of final few laps.
Here he comes, got a lot of VRS. Down into turn 4. Or Toon Fan later on the brakes. He'll get a better exit though, Chris. Just can't get the move done.
Yeah, so just going back to the Mercedes, as you were asking, they both had wing damage, pitted early on, fitted the mediums. The mediums can go quite long, being the short. It's only 4.3 kilometres around this track, so the tyre wear is not as bad as in other places, but they're obviously struggling with those around them.
Also, Matt Warner, within a second of Black Ninja, he's on a 6-lap old mediums. He should be able to get a move on if he could just get a little bit closer to Ninja here. He'll
have DRS as we start the final lap of the race. Christian Galang leads by 2 seconds then, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and I think Christian's in prime position. Chris is given another 3-second time penalty. So he's really struggled to get his car within the white lines. It's unfortunate for him. Yes, Dan, it has been a very enjoyable race. We want to see these drivers push themselves, and that's what they've been doing. Chris will not be able to get past Toonfan on time difference. He might be able to get past him on track, but I don't think that's so. Toonfan was within 3.5 seconds.
Tenths.
If he can find those 5 tenths, it'll be P2 on debut for the Alfa Romeo driver. So Christian Galang is coming around the final few corners. He's through the Verdun curve. He's coming round turn 6 now, flicking that car to the right side. Lovely camera angle there. You can see the background M66 as they come up towards turns 9 and 10. And Christian Galang then rounds the final corner, and he takes his second victory of the season. There's the checkered flag. He wins here in Austria at the Spielberg Ring. M66 crosses the line second, but I think with that time penalty, unless Toonfan stays third. So M66 managed to pull out. I think Toonfan, to go mind, there's a Williams going wide
as well.
Oh dear, Toon finishing third on debut. What a race from him. Started on the alternate strategy. Got his cut from 11th to 3rd, took the gamble. Digweed up to P4 to Liverpool fan in P5. Chris, unfortunately, with those time penalties, drops all the way down to P6. But what a race he had started on pole with that blistering lap time, but just got caught out a little bit. He finishes P6. Royal Viking, a very subdued race from him, but sort of going under the radar. Finishes P7, takes his first points of the season. Crash in the Toro Rosso is 8th. Pheasant Plucker again, another driver unlucky with penalties. He comes into life, but the Racing points once again in the constructors. Strong last week, strong this week. Racing Slade on debut, shout out to him. P10 takes 1 point to add to the constructors title to go along with the 15 that Toonfan got. Toonfan also gaining the fastest lap. Then Makoni is 11th, Matt in 12th, Ninja 13th. Krishna really struggled today, unfortunately didn't go well for him. He drops down to 14th from the front row.
Vegas, disappointing race 15th. From Cal Cohen, Krishna and Chris Vigay panning all within the top 5. But was Cal Cohen 4th?
Cal Cohen started 4th, yeah. As we see Murphy, the final driver, about to cross the line then. A bit unfortunate for him today, a few spins and that, but he crosses the line then, as that is the race completed here. Round 4 done and dusted for this CRLA. Christian Galang wins ahead of M66 for the 4th time this season. Those two share the top 2 spots. This championship battle is going to go down right to the wire, I think. As we can see there, quite a few drivers suffering penalties. We'll see in a minute. Toonfan there on a podium as well. What a race from him. Started P10, I think, qualified 11th, but bumped up to P10. He finishes 3rd on the alternate strategy. That's well done for him. We've mentioned a few other drivers. Racing Slade points on debut, the 2 racing points. But where's your driver of the day?
I mean, I was just going to say, you can't split Christian Galang and M66 because of how well they've been doing the past half of this season. But yeah, talk about driver of the day, I'm going to have to put it with Toonfan. The only driver to start in the mediums. He went for the risk, the ballsy play, and I would have to say he pulled it off. Maybe he could have got second and some more points if it wasn't for his time penalty. But yeah, definitely driver of the day for him. Yeah,
I mean, I can't look past him in terms of position game wise, but I mean Royal Viking, they gained 7 places, but I think Christian Galang purely because he wasn't really in the race with anyone, but he did what he needed to do. Remember, he was second in that championship, looking to catch. And I think as much as Toonfan gained position, he had the optimal strategy. I just think Christian Galang did well because he pulled away from Toon before he pitted. And then he was able to stay in front at the end. So my driver of the day goes to Christian Galang. So that is round 4 done and dusted. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in today. We'll be back on Tuesday. Calco and Felice will be in the box for the championship division as they take on Austria. And then next Thursday, I believe we are in Brazil for the academy. Don't hold me to that. I may have got that mixed up. But we will be back Thursday. Hopefully Harvey will be here to join me once again as Christian Galang and M66 rejostle positions and finish 1 and 2 here at Austria.